Millions of Americans will vote on Tuesday, and millions have already voted early. But just 270 votes will determine who lives in the White House for the next 4 years. 270 is a majority in the Electoral College and the number needed to win the presidency. So how might President Obama or Mitt Romney come up with that crucial number of electoral votes? CBS News political director John Dickerson is back with the path each candidate sees as most likely to victory. Good morning again, John.
Good morning, Anthony.
We've been talking about Ohio. How important actually is Ohio?
It's very important to Mitt Romney. It's quite important to the president as well. If you take the 9 battleground states, well, let's just do that. We'll start. If we look at our map here, our CBS election desk has decided that basically 237 electoral votes are presumed to go to President Obama, 191 to Mitt Romney. Well, already you see there that the president starts with a lead. And for Governor Romney to win, Ohio is a big part of that. It's got 18 electoral votes.
Right.
So he has to get that 18 electoral votes. So that's why it's so important for him, because it's just, other than Florida, it's one of those big numbers on the map.
What else does President Obama likely pick up here to get to 270?
His path is easier because he starts with that 237 votes. So, for example, if we give the president Florida, that already gets him to 266. Then of the remaining 8 states, he could even get little old New Hampshire. No offense to the people of New Hampshire, but they just get 4 electoral votes.
Don't call it little. Don't call it old.
Well, they only get, but all he needs is those 4 electoral votes. Right. So that's how easy his path is. If we look at Mitt Romney's path, if we give Mitt Romney Florida, and then we give him Ohio, we give him North Carolina, and we give him Virginia, he's still only at 266. Right. So those are 4 big states, all very hotly contested. Then he would need New Hampshire, a 5th state, to get to 270.
Who would you say at this point has the momentum going in these last few days of the campaign?
Momentum is such a tricky word, because in a sense you can both have momentum. Both candidates can have big rallies, surging crowds. I think that that Mitt Romney had something coming out of that first debate. He had momentum. The polls were changing. His side was very excited about him. That started to dissipate. Now, whether it had dissipated and stopped before the storm, most strategists think that basically his momentum was gone. He wasn't backsliding, but it was gone. He was going to have to come up with something new to say, something new to keep himself in the national conversation. What the hurricane did was block him and remove his ability to get on the air, to make a news story that would filter out through all these electoral states, which is a little bit different than him losing momentum. He lost the opportunity to try and create it again.
At the same time, you had the president being praised by the governor of New Jersey, who was the speaker at the Republican convention.
And exactly. And so that helps with the undecided voters to the extent that they are low information, checking in to this big national event. They see the president being presidential in his role, and also with a Republican governor, which appeals to a lot of those undecided voters who are angry with Washington and the lack of bipartisanship.
John Dickerson, thanks.